All right, welcome back, everyone. Today we are turning another bowl. This one's my medium-sized bowl, which is basically 7 inches across. Um, I know I make a lot of bowl videos, but my business is basically making bowls. So the special projects that I get to do are few and far between. I am thinking about trying to do a simple like bowl video like this one week and then a special video the next, but we'll just have to see how things go. Here I'm checking how much more I need to cut off the side to get it rounded and all that extra resin taken off. This bowl is actually pretty easy to turn. The wood on it is white ash. I know it's ash, but I'm not sure about the white part. That's more of a guess. But the bugs like to eat it, but it turns real nice. Here I'm just working that shape out and kind of had the thought in my mind of doing like a V bowl with straight edges, but I didn't quite get there in the end, but it's close. I'm working on different shots and speeding up and slowing down parts of the video instead of it just being all fast. I think I like it, but who knows? Using my old trusted carbide bit there. That that tool, I when I first got it, I hated it. I couldn't stand that tool to the point where I actually made a new handle for it, um, which I thought was a good idea at the time. But it turns out I actually made the same size handle as it had on before, so it was completely pointless to do. Um, but it did give me the confidence to keep using it. And now, if you've seen my videos, I use those carbides quite a bit. Here we're just cutting down the bottom some more. Giving you some real-time footage. Watching these videos, I mean, I know what happens, but just the amount of shavings that come off and get piled up on me it's kind of funny. Don't notice it at the time, but I do make a mess. Put my mark on the bottom of it. A lot of turners will finish the bottom and like smooth out the bottom of their bowls. I kind of skip that piece. I figure that looks good enough. I guess a nice finished bottom would be nice too. The only problem I have with that is I can't do all my bowls. My big 10-inch bowls, I can't put on the coal jaws and finish. So I think that's my big hang up. I don't know. Here I'm just marking the side to know how much of the top I need to cut down. Cut my pilot hole. I didn't realize it until after turning this bowl, but the river bowls with the resin that go all the way through and down, they're quite difficult to turn, because the resin and the wood are two different densities. Your tool likes to hop and jump, and then you chip out the resin. It was an interesting realization when I was doing this bowl here, because this is only number 2 out of the river bowls that I've made. And I'm pretty sure I changed from tool to tool quite a bit in this. Maybe not, I don't know. Just trying to get the inside shape all smooth and cut out as much as it needs to be here. Get that bottom, the point on the Forstner bit, or whatever they're called, it always seems to be so deep in there. Makes you nervous about going through the bottom. I never seem to, but alright. Another real-time cutting. Just truing up the outside of the bowl. The main reason I do this is so when I'm sanding, it's not, the sandpaper doesn't jump and you get a better sand if it's just running nice and smooth. But it is the most nerve-wracking part of doing everything, because you've got that bowl all nice and finished, and one mistake and it can blow up on you. Necessary evil, I guess. Even watching this, at this point, I'm holding my breath, going, "Oh, don't chip out." I shouldn't be cutting the top of that lip in that direction. So if you've made it this far in the video, I've got a question for you. Sanding. I don't know what to do with sanding. I speed it up quite a bit more than the rest of the video, but I realize it's boring, and I have the dilemma of, do I cut it out or do I leave it in there? Um, I know if you're learning how to turn, it's might be valuable information, but if you're just watching this for pleasure, it's the most boring thing. It's like watching paint dry. It's just, sanding is horrible. So let me know. Should I cut out all the sanding? Should I speed it up more? And I don't know. Let me know your thoughts. Even me making this video, I'm bored by this point in time. I'm almost done sanding already. I do go all the way up to 1,000 or 3,000 grit when I'm doing this. I would like to go another step up or so, but it's finding the sandpaper is difficult, and I don't really like the micro meshes. They don't seem to do what they say, in my opinion, at least. All right, it's a day or so later. I always let them dry for at least a day, get all that water out of them before I seal it up. This part I left real time just to show how easy this Yorkshire grit, that's the finish I'm using here, how easy it is to put on. Just get a paper towel, get a little bit of the product on there, and rub it in. You just want to make sure the everything gets coated because that wood will soak it up a little bit. And so all I do is just rub that on there, and then both sides, and then turn on the lathe and heat it up. Basically, I start out slow, make sure everything's nice and coated and even, and then I speed it up and heat the product up, and that's it. It doesn't leave a oily finish or anything. When you touch it, it feels dry or at least not slimy. If you're struggling with your finish, that's a product I would look into. It's worth it, and it's cheap too. Each one of those containers is like $20-$30, and that's not even a promotion. That's just good product. So here you can see I'm just getting it hot and rubbing it. So the last step in this, I use a dry paper towel and just kind of buff the whole thing. And that is a finished bowl. I'm pretty happy with the way this one turned out. Well, I think that I'm going to call it on that one. If you made it this far, thanks again. I appreciate all the support and everything that you viewers do. Have a good day and goodbye.